Duncan Racing's Bradley Page is the hottest rider on America's #1 off-road circuit. But it is Kentucky native Bill Ballance who comes to Mount Morris looking to clinch his second national championship. Grand National Cross Country ATV Racing is next on Fox Sports Net. Historic Mount Morris, Pennsylvania is home to round 11 of the Grand National Cross Country ATV Series on Fox Sports Net. Hello everyone, I'm Larry Myers. Let's get right down to business. Bring him a broadcast partner, Mark Hyde. And Mark, as the season is winding down, I want to talk about the guy that has been Mr. Everything, Bill Ballance.
Yeah, Bill Ballance has just had one of those years you dream about. He's only been off the podium one time. You know, we're talking, we've had 10 races, and his worst finish is a 7th place. Whenever he's made a mistake, the other guys have made bigger mistakes. So he's just capitalized on everything he's done this year. He's just had a great season so far.
And it gets no better than that. Meanwhile, earlier today, Jen Hildreth talked to Bill Ballance.
Guys, Bill Ballance has had a focus on this championship ever since they unloaded his ATV from the truck in Florida. So Bill, just 3 rounds to go. Is it still important for you to try and win races?
Yeah, it is. You know, we come out here for the sponsors, come out here for just my personal and my pit's personal just encouragement, and want to go out and the drive to win. And you know, it doesn't matter if I've got the points wrapped up or whatever. You know, we come out here and it's also some extra money in my pocket, so I take every race just as serious as if the points still mattered.
Okay, how about out there on the track? Is your team going to do anything special to let you know where your championship rivals are in the course?
Probably not today. I just want to get out there and ride smart. I want to try to get out on the start. So, you know, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused. I want to go out here and win the race, and it doesn't matter who's around, who's in front of me. I just want to pass them and get out front. Try to do that every race.
Okay, talking ATVs, got to talk about Barry Hawk. He was so dominant for such a long period of time. Do you compare yourself to that legend, or is there something else that drives you?
I don't know if I can compare myself to him right now. I mean, he's got 7 or 8 championships or something, but, you know, it's something to focus on and just see how many years I can go for it. And it'd be nice to see him come back sometime and us fight it out again.
Boy, Larry, when you follow a great champion like Barry Hawk was for this quad series, Bill Ballance, he's got a tough act to follow, but he's done a great job so far. He's won a championship, he's close to winning a 2nd championship, and I know he wants to be compared to Barry and mentioned in those same words. And if he keeps going like he's going, Barry might have company in that record book.
Well, let's take a look at the record of points, the way they stand right now. Ballance with 188 on top. Then comes Page and Smiley. They're tied with 154. Yokley right behind 150, and BORICH is in 5th with 144. But that is not the whole story. There's some complications in there, Mark.
Yes, in the GNCC ATV series, there's 13 races, but they only count 11. So you get to throw out your 2 worst rides. And by doing that, a couple of these guys that have made mistakes this year, it's a chance to, you know, make up for those mistakes by using those throwaways.
You start talking throwaways and I get all confused. However, Bob Walker, the 4th member of our crew, is standing by and he'll straighten us out.
Larry, let the college graduate show you how simple this really is. Ballance has 188 total points. Smiley, 154. Going to get rid of the 2 throwaways, his 3rd, his 7th. It's going to change him to a 156. Smiley, get rid of the 16 and the 19, changes 154 to a 147, which gives him a 9-point lead. But then I got Page, who's got 143 total, and Yokley now is right there at 139, which puts Ballance 9 ahead and only 13 ahead of Page with 3 races to go. And with 3 races to go, they each get 20 points. Hey, Bill, I'm trying to figure out the points for the last 3 races. What's it going to take for you to win the championship?
Well, Bob, it doesn't look like you have all your figures right here. You've got to understand that right down here, we've got a race today at Mount Morris. And if you put a win right there, that's going to take the total to 208. That puts me away from everybody and nobody can win.
Really?
Yeah.
See, Larry, I told you it was that simple.
It's a good thing Ballance was there.
Yeah, because I think he's the only one that knows how the points are right now.
We know that if Balance finishes first or second, or all he has to do is beat Smiley by 1 position, he will be named the champion. Now, meanwhile, there's some other guys to consider. What are they going to be doing?
Well, Smiley, he wants to win. That's his hope for the championship. He's still got pressure on Balance. Balance has to beat him, so Smiley still has a chance there. Yokley, he wants to win races. Chris BORICH, a young kid, he's come up, won some races. And Seagot, this is a track that favors him a lot. But Jeremiah Jones, he got his first taste of GNCCs back in Ohio. This track is really going to suit him. If he's going to do something, this is the track for him today.
He's the guy that is the equivalent in motocross to what Bill Ballance is here in the ATV series. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts. Hey, when we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineup. The riot field behind us, you can hear all the commotion. They're getting set to race. They're moving on down to the start line, and right after that, we're going to drop the flag and go racing. GNCC ATV Racing is brought to you by CD Boots, ATV Sport, the #1 sport quad magazine, and by Cannondale. Well, a look at a portion of the motocross track that we have here today at High Point. We saw some dark areas which would indicate water. Might put out that they have dumped water on the racetrack to cut some of the dust. It is not going to be a muddy day here in Pennsylvania, but it is going to be a good day.
Yes, with the High Point track being, motocross track being the centerpiece, and a bunch of nice grass tracks, the way this track clover leafs around, the spectators can see the guys all day long today.
And all day long, they will see the top ATV cross-country riders in the world as we check the starting lineup. Meanwhile, Jen Hildreth has worked her way to the start. She's with a couple of the riders. Jen?
Larry, we've got a couple guys coming back from injury here today. Brian Baker tore up your knee after the Taylortown round. How's it feeling today, and how's it going to affect you?
It feels pretty good. I'd say it's about 60 or 70%. I've only been walking on it a couple weeks. I've been trying to do some mountain bike riding, and it's feeling pretty good. I really don't think it'll give me a lot of trouble today.
Okay, well, another guy over here, Chad DUVALL, tore up his foot playing softball, but how's it feeling now? You got third last round. How's the foot?
The foot's doing really good. Really don't look it to really hinder me today in these boots. It's protected pretty good, so definitely on a positive note today, and no negs.
All right, looks like these guys are both recovered and ready to go. Let's go down the line to Bob Walker.
Thanks, Jen. I'm down here with the guy they call the Kid, Jeremiah Jones, the ATV GNC motocross champion. Jeremiah, familiar surroundings. You won the motocross series here earlier this year. Can you do it in the cross country this time?
Probably not, but hopefully I can. And it would be nice to come out here and be one of the first guys to win the motocross side of it and come out and win a cross country in the same year. That's what my plans are doing, but if not, I'd like to have another top 5 like I had at the last one, and just be consistent and try to finish the race.
Now, this is the same motocross track they ran the Motocross Nationals on earlier this year. You're familiar with it. You changed the bike at all. You feel you're going to be able to make up some extra time on the cross-country guys?
It looks like a couple of the jumps are peaked up more than when we was here at the motocross, and actually me and Bill Ballance, we actually was walking the track, and it looks like you can actually do some of the jumps with these big old cross-country bikes.
Larry, there you have it. Motocrosser down here going to be jumping these doubles on a motocross national track.
Hey, you could bet if Jones jumps it, they're all going to jump it. Is that Balance's #1 fan?
It sure looks like it, and he's got a lot of them out here, and he's getting ready for the start. Here's some of the track facts we have: a 9-mile course. We got Holbert's Way, the Holbert family, which owns this property. They're very involved in this, and these guys are getting ready to go racing.
Hey, want to give a call to 4.5, Casey's Corner. It's a good corner out in the woods. It's kind of fast, and it should be interesting. Dead engine start. They have kick-started. They're off, and someone on that line got a bad start.
Yes, but a good start was done by Bill Ballance. Bill's jumped out front like we've seen him a lot this year. Oh, look, that was Brad Page up on 2 wheels. Jeremiah Jones, he's tucked in behind Ballance, and Yokley is right behind him.
Sideways around the corner, Bill Ballance took time to look behind him. He saw that mass of ATVs just as we did, and they are charging, they are coming. Look at them go through this muddy section. That water was dumped there to cut dust now. It's not going to be a muddy track. Let's point that out. Through the whoops, Balance leads it. Jones second, and Yokley in third.
Yeah, Bill's trying to make a run up the inside. Jones cuts him off and heads up the big uphill. They have put a lot of water on this course, but it's going to get pretty perfect when they get around here on the second lap. And you can see Balance. He sees his buddy Jeremiah right behind him, and he's going to probably hope he can hold him off here on the motocross track.
Jeremiah takes some wide lines. That must be his motocross background that is doing that. And whoa!
That's Brad Page again. He got into the back of Justin Brown there and got her up on 2 wheels, man.
Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Oh man, that's Mike Cratchin up there getting out, and he's into Kim Coonley.
Coonley minding his own business, and there's another one that got spun completely around.
That's Larry Johnson. Yeah, Larry Johnson. Oh, hey.
And here comes Smiley.
And Smiley must have got tangled up back there. He is way back. Oh, here we're back to the original incident. This is Brad Page. You see him get in there a little bit fast and got into the back of Yokley, and when he hit Yokley, it set him up on 2 wheels. He's lucky he didn't go down. If he'd have gone down right there, he'd got mowed over by this pack.
Okay, everything's all right with Page. He recovered, but look at this.
Yeah, same kind of incident again. Brown gets in there nice, and Page just being too aggressive, and whoa, that could have cost him again.
And Coonley, of course, coming up on the outside, trying to get through Page in that mound of dirt, and there was no room, so he lost several positions in the back, or in the fracas. Meanwhile, out on the racetrack, making time, and boy, is he ever is balanced. My gosh, he has put a heck of a lead on the rest of the field already.
Well, when we were talking to Bill earlier this morning, he really looked focused to me. I know he can wrap the championship up today, and it looks like that's what he has his mindset on doing.
Oh, wheelie. Jones just ripping up that hill.
Wow, he's doing a great job. And Chris BORICH, he's won a race this year. He's had some nice, great finishes in all the mud conditions. We'll see what he can do out here in the dry stuff.
Well, Chris actually moved up a slot. He's in third now. Chad DUVALL is in fourth. Yokley has dropped back just a little bit. Made some kind of an error in that wood section, but Yokley is now running, let's see, where is he? He's in fifth.
Yes, and Brad Page and Justin Brown are right on his rear wheel there, Larry.
So Brad Page came out of those 2 incidents in fairly good shape, considering. Here we are at Casey's corner. See that? Boy, that's a fast corner for the middle of a wood section.
Yes, and you're coming down a pretty steep downhill right into it, so they've got some pretty good speed in that bottom corner of this. It's an off camber and a turn all at once, so you guys got to be careful coming down that thing.
There's Jones running in second place, and again, I want to point out that big lead, that huge lead that Bill Ballance has opened up on the field. This guy is just ripping this track apart. You know, I question, as we watch Chad DUVALL in fourth, and the rest of the field will be along shortly, I question Ballance opening up that lead so early. He's going awfully hard, and all he needs to do is beat Smiley to win the championship. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back to Fox Sports Net. You're watching GNCC ATV Racing. That is your leader, still on lap 1, Bill Ballance, and look at the lead that he has. It's incredible.
Yes, he's opened up a big lead, and that could be because of Jeremiah Jones. Jeremiah is a great motocrosser, and we're here at a great motocross track, but most of this track is made up of wood sections. And Jeremiah, he's probably not running the pace Bill's going. He's kind of holding these guys up, and then when they get out in the open, he dusts them out to where they can't get by him.
Well, I didn't see him holding anyone up. There wasn't anyone close. We saw Chris BORICH in third. Here's Chad DUVALL in fourth, as we're going to jump on with a Core Moto Cam rider and see what this looks like from the rider's vantage point.
Yes, we're here with Team Green's William Yokley. Williams had some great rides this year, but he's also had a lot of ups and downs. He kind of either wins or has problems. But he's off to a pretty good start today, and it's a long race. They'll be out here for over 2 hours. You can see some of the creek beds, the ups and downs that this course provides here with this view. And
some slippery conditions. That hill will be considerably wetter after running through that water as we get on into this race. That could become a hazard. Nice open trail there as Bill Ballance is on the motocross track at mile marker number 8, and he's headed for the final checkpoint on lap number 1 for the first time today.
Yes, and they've watered the motocross track quite extensively, and that's probably what got some of those guys there on that first lap. They probably weren't expecting that much water out on the motocross track.
Ballance is just ripping this course apart through that big pipe. That's actually a drainage pipe that they've set up. The track goes over the top of it. We'll see that a little bit later, while riders are coming underneath it and through it to get into the pit area. And there is Jones in second place.
Yeah, boy, you're right. Bill Ballance, he has opened up a good lead. Jeremiah, uh-oh, we got Jeremiah. He's pointing down. He's got a flat tire already, Larry.
He does, the right rear. You can see it. Boy, and his crew was not ready for that. Still, they're quick to grab the air gun and put a new tire on, the old one off, new one coming on. But boy, that's going to cost Jeremiah.
Yes, it is. He's losing some valuable positions here. And you saw those creek beds we were in. They had some rocks in there, and that's what usually gets you a flat tire. Those wet rocks, boy, they just slice through a tire real quick.
What does it do to a guy's confidence factor when he has, he's within striking distance, as he was with Bill Ballance. He was in second place, and now he's taking off. He's been passed by 3-4 guys, and he's way, way back. What does it do to his confidence?
It's got to bum him out. Uh-oh, boy,
another one.
We've got William Yokley in the pits now. This is 2 flat tires from 2 of the front-running guys. And these pit crews are hopping already today.
They are, and again, they had no warning that they were coming in with flat tires.
Yeah, and that's unusual because usually the spotters out there, they'll tell the crews, somebody has a problem, but maybe they got it right near the end of the lap and didn't get a chance to get word into the pit crews.
Okay, the left rear, the other one that Jones had was on the right rear. That's on the left rear. And Yokley is down and away. He gives some kind of a signal to his pit crew. I'm guessing that was, hey, thanks, guys. You did a great job.
Yes, they did. And also, what I liked what William did when he was in there, you notice he got fresh goggles and he was taking on some liquids while he was in there. And that's one thing Jeremiah Jones didn't do, and he might regret that later in the race.
Back to my confidence question. This guy has such a lead, and everyone knows it at this point. And you come in with a flat tire, you lose ground. Where do you get that confidence back? Or do you? Maybe you don't.
That's going to be tough today because Ballance, he won High Point last year, and he is just flooring it out there today. He is just being so aggressive, and it was the guys between Ballance and the guys further back that got the flat tires. So it's going to be tough for those guys to work their way back up to that point.
Now Chad DUVALL, meanwhile, has moved into second place. He's followed closely by Chris BORICH, who is running in third. Here's a battle for fifth place. That was Page and Jones, number 576.
Yes, and that was Jeff Seagot that went through right in front of those guys, so we have a big battle shaping up here. Now let's get behind the controls of our moto cam here and see what Bill Ballance is up to on the track. Oh, this is one of the tighter wood sections out there. You see Bill, he's just really working hard on this ATV, just pushing to get out of sight to where everybody will just ruin their confidence, and they'll give up early and maybe don't even think they have a chance at Bill today.
Well, Bill Ballance going incredibly fast in the woods. The camera really doesn't do it justice, but this is the 11th round that we have watched, and it just does not cease to amaze me at the agility, the athletic ability of these guys. Meanwhile, Jen Hildreth is in the pits with a late braking report.
Guys, with just 1 lap behind us, Curtis Crump is already in here in the pits. His birthday is tomorrow, but it sounds like you had some bad luck, Curtis. Tell us what happened to your bike here.
Yeah, on the start of the race there, the motocross section, I got rear-ended and it locked my rear brakes up and bent the rotor. I mean, the rotor actually warped because it got so hot. And I lost all my brakes, and just a bad day today.
That had to be kind of scary going out there without any brakes and what everybody calls a fast course.
Yeah, it's a real fast course today. I mean, a lot of straightaways, and then you come into a corner and it dusts, and I mean, it's not safe at all to ride without rear brakes today on this track. So.
All right, guys, tough luck for the birthday boy. Back to you.
Curtis, it probably means nothing, but happy birthday to you, bud. Here's the battle for second place between Chad DUVALL and Chris BORICH. Way out in front of them is our leader, Ballance. I wonder, why is he opening up such a gap when all he has to do is beat Smiley, and he knows from going through the pits that Smiley is well back in the field.
Yeah, and with the flat tires that everybody else had, I mean, he's got a huge lead.
Here he is. Here is Bill Ballance and slowing down. Maybe he's going to wait for the rest of the field, but I think he has problems. Oh, look at the smoke. He has problems.
He's got some big problems there, Larry. We've got some steam coming out of that thing, and it's not sounding too healthy.
Well, if it's steam, it's probably a radiator. We'll find out, straighten it out when we come back. Stick with us. This is the ATV GNCC Championship Series, round 11. That guy that is parked, and I emphasize the word championship, was in line to capture his second straight title here today. But he is apparently broken down, and that's going to lead the way for Smiley, who got a miserable start. And Mark, all Ballance had to do was cruise lose because of Smiley's start, would have wrapped up the championship, and now he's done for the day, and Smiley's got a crack at gaining some valuable points.
Yes, obviously Bill's had a problem with his coolant system. We see it just steaming and boiling out all over the place. And Matt Smiley, we see somebody getting that's DUVALL getting a word from his pit crew. But Matt Smiley's crew, they need to get out there and tell Matt where he's at and what's happened to Bill. And Matt just needs to floor it from here on in.
Well, I believe that will put DUVALL into the front running position. Behind him would be BORICH, then Seagot. There's Jones in fourth. And there's our helmet cam guy running in sixth place. But I don't think he'll finish into the results here. I can't emphasize enough that Bill Ballance had opened up such a huge lead, and you have to wonder, as hard as he was riding, did that contribute to the fact that he has to park his bike and he's through for the day?
It could have. We'll have to wait and get a word with Bill and see what he has to say and find out what the problem actually was. You know, he could have got into something in the woods there, put a hole in a radiator. It's hard to tell from just all the steam that was coming on. But this is really opening an opportunity for the rest of these guys, because Bill has just dominated the series this year, for these guys to really end the year on a great note.
Well, it turns into a great battle for us with Chad DUVALL holding down the front runner's position, BORICH right behind, then Seagot. I mean, this is a whole new ball game. We got a whole new race. Look at this. There's the battle for the lead right there.
Yeah, and these guys, we talked about a little bit earlier in the show about confidence. You know, they were close to Bill, and then he just blew them away and got away. And now these guys are just got to be brimming with confidence, because here they went from a minute and a half down to being in the lead.
Now YOKLEY, who at the opening of the show, off the start, was running in third, has dropped back to the number 6 position, but actually he had a flat tire. So I think it's fair to point out he spent a little bit of time in the pits, and maybe he's worked his way back up to 6th place. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yes, because Bill, he's always one of the hard chargers out on the circuit. There's that guy, as long as the throttle works, he's going to be getting after it.
Here's our battle for the lead. You saw DUVALL, there's BORICH, and here is Seagot. And on the grass track, there's the battle for 7th place. And Smiley, Smiley knows that Ballance is out of it, and that was Smiley with his front end up in the air. He is riding hard. Meanwhile, there's Bill Ballance encouraging the rest of the field on. He's telling them to go ahead, get with the program. That's remarkable. He has every right to be slamming things around, but he's out. What a competitor this guy is. He's out there cheering guys on.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah Jones, just went by, a real good friend of Bill's, and actually all these guys are real good friends, and it's great to see Bill. You know, he still wants to see a great race out there today, even though he's not part of it at this point in time.
Here's YOKLEY in 6th place. Right behind him are the guys that are really coming on strong. That would be, of course, Matt Smiley, who is running in 8th place, and Stevie Holbert, who was in 7th. Now, battle for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and up front, too, we have a big battle shaping up. And these guys, they'll be banging bars, knocking wheels, running into each other. And that might slow this front group up just enough to maybe make Smiley's job a little easier to catch these guys.
Well, there are battles all over this race course. Every rider out there now knows that Ballance is out of it. And every rider out there looks to better his position, his own position, with regard to A, championship point standings, and B, standings in this race. And it's like, hey, the boss is gone. We're going to play. Boy, are they ever. They're getting it on. What a great race this has turned out to be. I expect it's going to last this way throughout the tenure of the race as we watch Bill Ballance pull into the pits. Boy, what a heartbreak for him. When we come back, we will talk with Bill Ballance and find out what happened. Hey, welcome back to Fox Sports Net. This is ATV GNCC Racing. There's your leader, Chad DUVALL. And what a race this has turned out to be. Right behind him is Chris BORICH. Then comes Jeff Seagot. 3 guys fighting now for the lead that was once held by our defending champ. Oh, Seagot. That's Seagot in 2nd place. He's past BORICH.
Yes, he has. And Jeremiah Jones, he's right on BORICH's tail. And then, too, coming up behind those guys, we have Brad Page hunkering down there in 5th spot.
Now, Page, you'll recall, at the opening of the show was a guy up on 2 wheels. Look at this, the battle for the lead. DUVALL and Seagot going at it. And Seagot comes out on top. He takes over the front runner's position.
Wow, this is one heck of a battle we have here today, Larry. And Seagot, we talked about him a little bit earlier. He is one of the motocross guys other than Jeremiah Jones, and he's always excelled on these types of courses. We'll see if he can put a whole ride together today.
Well, if you just tuned in, you wonder where Ballance is, the defending champ. He's in the pits with Bob Walker.
Running out there in the lead. Lap 2. What happened to the bike?
Just overheated. I think the hose got so hot that it busted the hose. It started spewing out antifreeze, and I was going to try to make it that lap and come back in and put another hose in, but we didn't make it. The motor got so hot that it wound up just wearing out the pistons, rings, and everything.
Nothing you could have done to prepare for this, is there?
No, it's one of those things. Cross-country racing.
That's why they call it racing, guys. Bill Ballance going to have to wait another race until he can wrap up the championship.
Bill Ballance, the defending champ, was looking to score championship number 2 here today, and it just did not happen. Meanwhile, Smiley is the guy that will gain most. All Ballance had to do was beat Smiley, and that is Smiley out front of that pack, and he would have been named the champion. Smiley was way at the back of that pack. I mean, man, he was way, way back, and he was just not even in this.
Yeah, Matt Smiley, he went down off the start, and he was, like you said, dead last. And right now, he's got Stevie Holbert and Brian Baker chasing him, but he has to make up some ground because Seagott, he's out front now, and it looks like he's setting a pretty serious pace.
Seagott looking for a win. Naturally, Bill Ballance is gone. They're all looking for wins. That's kind of an overworked statement.
But yeah, Jeff, though, he's been up front. If you remember Georgia way back at the beginning of the year, he had that race won, and then like on the last lap, he got stuck in that mud hole, and Ballance got around him for the win, and he's still trying to get that elusive first win.
That was Chris BORICH in third. You saw how close they are, first, second, and third. Look at this. They're just incredible racing from one end of this racetrack to the other. And check this out. Brad Page has passed Jeremiah Jones and is now in 4th place. That was Page, here's Jones.
Yes, and as you recall, earlier in the year, Brad Page won his first GNCC race ever just across the street at the Taylortown track, and he's on the move here today in this southwestern Pennsylvania area.
We just watched first, second, and third go through. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, what a race this is. What a race.
These guys are just getting after. There you see Brad, he's trying to reel those leaders in, and if he can get around Jeremiah Jones on this course, I think he's got something for that lead group.
You make a good point there in the middle of Casey's corner. Look at that tree, Mark. Boy, these guys come down the hill, they got a head of steam, and they just missed that tree. You better time it just exactly right. There goes BORICH in 2nd place. Meanwhile, Bob Walker has worked his way to the pits.
Jeff Cole, team manager for Jeff Seagott. You guys have been running up front all year. You've had some problems throughout the year. Haven't quite been able to pull off that elusive victory. Jeff won here 4 years ago. Is he going to be able to hold on for these last 2 laps today?
Well, we hope he can hold on. We're doing real well. Jeff's riding hard, and the one-stop Nax bike's working real well. All we can wish is a lot of luck on our part and have him do his part out on the racetrack. He's real comfortable, no complaints when he come in and gas, and hey, we'll just see what happens. We got 2 to go, and hope we can get the black and white this time. We deserve it. It's been a long year.
Well, he's right, Mark. It has been a long year for Jeff Seagott.
Yes, every time he's been up front, he's just had something go wrong, you know, whether it was him or the bike or just bottlenecks or who knows what it was. It's just been that kind of year for Jeff.
Meanwhile, the Core Moto Cam is on board and doing business.
Yes, we're chasing down Chris BORICH out in the open section here. As we come up into this tight wood section, it looks like we got some traffic.
Traffic indeed. This is Fox Sports Net. Stick with us. Welcome back to ATV Racing on a Fox Sports Net. You're looking at the leader, a new leader, I might add. That is Brad Page.
Yes, Brad took advantage of everybody in that last tight wood sections, but now we're on the motocross track, and Jeff Seagott's right behind him.
Seagott, who was the leader, wants it back. He pulls up alongside of Page, and there they go side by side. Now, meanwhile, right behind them, another battle. This one's for third.
Yes, William Yokley, as you recall earlier in the day, William had that flat tire and he was way back in the pack, and now he's back up around Chad DUVALL and the rest of the gang, and he's moving up quick.
What we have is a whole cluster of ATVs fighting each other, and who knows how this one will come out. The lead was changed again as Seagott got it back. He passed Page, so Page is back in 2nd place.
You know, this could turn out really great, Larry, because we have Page, the fast woods guy, Seagott, the fast motocrosser, and every time they get to one of those sections, it seems like the guy takes advantage of his specialty and gets to the front.
And gaining on both of them is Yokley. He's in 3rd place aboard his Kawasaki. This guy has come from way back.
Yes, William has made up a lot of ground here today, and I've seen that out of William all year. There's no quitting that guy.
Hey, let's go on board with a Core Moto Cam. Take a look at...
Oh, we're in here behind Brad Page. I'm used to seeing that number 5 on the back of his shoulder pads, but he left home without them, and he was scrambling to get a set this morning. He had to go and buy those.
That's a heck of a note for a factory racer to have to buy a pair of shoulder pads at the last second to get into the race. Look how tight this wood section is, and look at the speed at which Page is taking those corners.
And you can see why he's getting around the guys in the wood sections. His wood's pace is really strong today.
Something else that's strong would be winning the lottery. In fact, that's our Cannondale Rider Spotlight subject.
Well, first thing I'd do, I'd take care of my family. I'd definitely build me a new house and get everything organized, get us a couple new vehicles, and take care of the family. And then I'd probably put my own little race team together. Always wanted to do something like that. Buy me a nice big rig and get a little race team going, and I'd be head of the race team.
Buy lots of toys.
So what kind of toys?
All kinds. Jet skis, motorcycles, you name it, boats, snowmobiles, anything you can ride or play with.
Well, the first thing I would do is I wouldn't work anymore, because I really don't like getting up in the morning going to work. But I'd probably buy a big house and spend a lot of it. There's no sense keeping it.
I like Coonley's answer, buy lots of toys. We're following Jeff Seagott, who, two things. One, he is off course. And the second thing is, there he's back on the course. See that? He got off course somehow or other. And when he came back on, there it is, the puff of smoke. That's the second thing I wanted to draw to your attention. What's going on here, Mark?
He's got an engine problem here, Larry. Something in the cooling system. He's broken something in the motor, and it's sucking radiator fluid out of the radiators. It's going through the engine and passing it out through the exhaust system.
Well, somehow or other, he did, though, get off course, and Brass Page now has regained the front runner's position, and that puts Seagott back in second, third, fourth. We're not sure exactly till they come out of the woods, but one thing is for certain, there is an engine problem.
Yes, there is a big engine problem with that. And William Yokley, he's up to second place and charging hard. And like what happened to Balance earlier, there's not a lot of time left in that ATV motor the way that thing's putting out smoke.
And Jeremiah Jones turning good lap times, but going nowhere as the guys up in front are really turning good lap times.
Yes, Page, once he's broken out to the front, he is just flooring it. DUVALL and BORICH, they're on a charge. But Yokley, he's the guy that Page right now has to worry about. Uh-oh, look here, Larry. Here comes Seagott with that cloud of smoke following him.
Boy, it makes it difficult for the guys behind him to see. Hope he gets off the course before someone slams into him, and he does. The bike is still running, but obviously very ineffective. The cylinder is binding up, and all kinds of things are going on internally in that engine, and none of them, Mark, are good.
No, like it's been said before, if it weren't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all this year.
Yep, they were hoping for a checker, and instead they could end up with a DNF. Smiley has worked his way all the way up to 6th place. Remember, he was dead last. He's chasing, as a bunch of others are, that guy, Brad Page, who is the leader.
Yes, and Smiley has to really get on the move here because he needs to knock off as many of those guys in front of him as possible, because with Balance going out today, this is a golden opportunity for him to score big points.
Yokley running in second. Behind him was Seagott. We saw him just a few moments ago sitting on top of the hill, just coasting. He is out of it for all practical purpose. And look at this freight train.
Oh, DUVALL and Chris BORICH coming down behind some traffic right there. And those guys, they got a battle going. But Page has opened up a little bit of a lead.
Did you hear DUVALL hollering as they made the pass? We'll be back. Welcome back. This has been some kind of race. If you have just tuned in, you missed Bill Balance, who was out front, running from the rest of the field, about to wrap up his second consecutive championship in engine blue. You missed Jeff Seagott, who inherited the lead, was running away from the pack in his engine blue. And now we have Brad Page out in front. Will Page hold on for another lap and take the checker mark?
Well, so far, Brad's ridden just a fabulous race. He was up front, in the top 5 early, and he's kind of hung in there. The only guy I think he really has to worry about is William Yokley. Yokley had that flat tire early, but he's charged back, and he's kind of working his way into contention to give Brad a run for his money.
Yeah, you want to talk about hanging in there. This guy has been really fast. Just a jet has been William Yokley.
Yes, he's ridden hard all day after that flat tire. And Chad DUVALL, he was up front early on, and he's dropped back to 3rd, and he's got Chris BORICH hot on his tail. And he's got to ride really hard this last lap. There goes Chris, just flooring it around that corner.
BORICH is riding hot. He's riding fast. And there's 5th place. Jeremiah Jones. You know what? This is a long way from being over. There is Smiley back in 6th, and he's chasing Jones.
Yes, and Smiley has to work really hard near the end of this race because every position he can get around, that's 1 point closer, it puts him to Bill Ballance.
Now he inherited that right because Ballance broke down, leading the race and blew an engine. Boy, this has been some kind of an afternoon. Yokley right now is the man on the move. He probably, well, coming from off the pace, Yokley has a pace set that he is, whoa, look at that. Oh, I was just about to say that he has a pace set that is probably faster than our leader, but that might have slowed him down just a little bit.
I tell you, when the race is over, I would love to measure his throttle cable because it's got to be longer at the end of the race the way he twists that throttle back.
Very good point. Well, Jeff Seagot has managed to ride back into the pits, and he's with Bob Walker. Let's see what he has to say.
I just stopped here for a leisure ride.
Oh, come on.
Everything was getting handed to me.
Hey, Roger, is that post?
Come on, you weren't out there for a leisure ride. Look at all that dirt on your face. You were enjoying it.
Yeah, it was, but you know what? Everything went my way. There's a couple bottlenecks, but I got around them, and so did like the other 3 guys. And evidently, I didn't even know I was leading. I really didn't know I was leading that whole time. I mean, no one was giving me anything, any pit board, but I mean, I was out there just flying around having fun, and next thing I know, I think I blew a head gasket because a lot of smoke was coming out of the exhaust pipe, and going up and down those hills, I wouldn't make it. I had to get off my bike and actually push it up the hill. So I knew I wouldn't make it the rest of the race, so I came back here.
So, head gasket, you sure?
Blown head gasket, it's the 2nd time. Last race, it blew and it fried the motor, it stuck a ring, and now this race, I think it did the same thing.
You done anything to change that out? I mean, to change them or different gasket?
I think what it is I ride too hard. Dude, I was like, what, 18th place, and I worked my way up to 1st?
Yeah, you had a good lead going out there, Jeff.
I won here 4 years ago, and I really want it again. I have a lot of people. Harry from Trinity, he does the motors. He came from California all the way to see me. I got a lot of fans here, and I really want to prove myself.
Well, he proved to me that he's an extremely fast rider, and he does have a sense of humor. Meanwhile, Brad Page is trying to leave the rest of the field behind. He has this man giving chase, William Yokley, who we have pointed out more than once, had a flat tire in the early going and came from off the pace and turned this thing into an excellent race situation. Here's Chad DUVALL, who was running 3rd.
Yes, we've just had a great race. After, unfortunately, after Ballance went out, everybody just was in a big cluster right behind him, and these guys have just been battling all day. Chad DUVALL and Chris BORICH, Baker, he's been up in there. Smiley's been trying to work his way back up there, but Page, he's just been Mr. Consistent today and stayed out all the trouble and just riding really good race, but he's got William Yokley coming hard after him.
We go back to the start of the race. You recall, Mark, that on 2 occasions, less than 100 yards apart, Page was up on 2 wheels and almost endoed, and he could have been out of this thing altogether, but recovered nicely, and what a job he has done.
Yeah, that's the great thing about racing. I mean, just the littlest things. He was so close to disaster both of those times, but saved it. That might even, told him and said, hey, calm down, let's relax. We've got a long race ahead of us, because they ride for over 2 hours out there, and it's just, as we can see, it's already taking its toll on the machinery, and it will take its toll on bodies as well.
We were watching the race for the lead. Page is out front, Yokley in 2nd, and we'll go on board with a Core Moto Cam.
Yeah, we've jumped back in here behind Brad again, see what he's doing. So far, he's just been doing everything right except for those couple little mistakes. Whoa, what was that there?
Our Core Moto Cam rider almost unglued as he went where he shouldn't have been, through a tree.
Yeah, but he's doing a nice job here, giving us some good footage of Brad as he winds up through this one little rocky section. That's another thing. He's done a great job of avoiding things like that. We've already seen a bunch of flat tires today.
Well, he is fast and he is smooth as this race is winding down, and I got to say that Brad Page deserves everything that might come his way before this one is over, and that, of course, would be the checkered flag. That's what he's hoping for, and it would be a shame if he did not get it.
Yes, and he has opened up a little bit of a lead. Here comes William Yokley on the green Kawasaki there, and he's trying hard, but Brad's just super smooth out front there and just doing a great job getting around this race course.
Now the rider directly in front of Yokley, let's not be confused, is a lap rider. That was not Brad Page. Brad Page is some 20, 23 seconds ahead.
Oh, and look though, the battle for 3rd, that's where it's heating up right now. DUVALL He's trying to hold off the young kid. Chris, Chris stalled it there, Larry.
Oh, Chris BORICH was right on the rear wheels of taking a podium position away from Chad DUVALL. He had worked to he was right on his, he was going to catch him. Oh, I feel for the guy.
Yeah, but here comes the guy of the hour, Brad Page. Man, Brad, the last half of this season so far, he has been on fire. He's won his first GNCC ever, and he's been up on that podium position just all the time here lately.
Well, he's about to claim GNCC victory number 2 as he is still charging across the finish line, takes the checkered flag. That guy, he didn't let up a bit.
No, you cannot. With the field as he's got chasing him, with Yokley, if he'd let off, Yokley would have been all over him, Larry.
Good point, and that's what we have come to expect from watching the GNCC series on Fox Sports Net. Stick with us. GNCC ATV Racing on Fox Sports Net has been brought to you by CD Boots and by KTM Sport Motorcycles. Welcome back. Round 11 at High Point Raceway is in the books, and we're just about set to hand out the gold. And I have to say that today, the riders that get it certainly do deserve it. It's been some kind of race, Mark.
Oh, it was a great race today, and Bill Ballance, he got the CD Boot Thrill Seeker shot of the day. Wasn't too thrilling for him, but Brad Page is pretty thrilled. This moves him closer to the championship.
Well, Bill was out, Brad was in, and he's standing by with Jen Hilton.
Guys, Brad Page has won 2 out of the last 3 races, and quite a race he put together today. A lot of lead changes. How did you manage to finish up here in first?
Well, actually, I was in about 4th place, and I came up on a bottleneck, and they were all sitting there, and I just fell in behind them, right behind DUVALL, and that's about mid-pack of the 3rd lap maybe, and they all come in the pits and got gas that lap, and I took the lead, and he got past me back down here before we got to the woods, and I just laid with him, and probably about 3-mile marker we had a hill climb, and he took a bad line, and I took a good line and got around him, and I just tried to ride smart from then on.
Smart enough to take the wins. Congratulations, Brad. Other notable finishes, Jeremiah Jones 5th. Right behind him was Smiley with Brian Baker in 7th place. Stevie Holbert, Larry Johnson. We saw him at the head end of the show with problems. Let's go down to Bob Walker, who's with our 2nd place finisher.
Thanks, Larry. This guy's been fighting all year long. A couple bad finishes early on this year, 2 podiums in a row now, William. You're still in the title chase. Can you catch balance?
I really don't think I can unless something drastic happened to him, and I'm so far back from those bad finishes, I don't know if I could beat Smiley and Page out anyway, but I'm still going for it. I don't care if I'm finished dead last. I'm going to try to win every race, so, you know, I ain't quitting.
You had the flat tire on lap 1, made up a lot of time. You were as far back as 7th place. How come you couldn't close that gap on Brad Page the last couple laps?
You know, he was riding really good, and everybody had a real good pace going, and I done the best I could, and I got another tire going down in the front, and it kind of, you know, acting a little squirrely, but, you know, I'm not saying if I didn't have that, I would have caught Brad because he was riding good. Everybody was riding good, and hey, it's just a tough game out there. I made it. I'm safe, and I haven't had fun.
Larry, let's go back up to you. The title chase is still on with Yokley, Page, chasing balance.
Thanks, Bob. It's good to point out, though, that Bill Ballance can still wrap up the championship in the next round. Let's go to Jen Hildreth, who was with our 3rd place finisher.
Well, we didn't see Chad DUVALL at the beginning of the season, but Chad, in 5 races, you've got 3 podium finishes. Do you feel like you're getting back in racing form?
Yeah, I mean, each race, you know, we're getting the bike a little bit better and a little bit better. So, yeah, I mean, anytime I make it on the podium, that's an A+ for me. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here.
What was it like staying in the fight this whole race? There was a lot of lead changes, but you managed to stay up there and get back on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at one point I was leading there, and I started towards the front, and, you know, I just stayed there all day long. And you get a good start, and you kind of stay up there towards the front. It makes it a lot easier day than starting in the back and working your way up. So.
Well, got a good finish today for Chad DUVALL.
Mark, final thoughts?
Well, I think after Bill's bad luck today, he'll come out swinging at the next round.
I think he will indeed. Next week, we'll see you on Fox Sports Net and the motorcycles race from High Point. For Bob Walker, Jen Hildreth, and Mark Hyde, I'm Larry Myers. Thanks for joining us.